Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever session of Beam Saber. I'm Austin Ramsey. I'm the creator of Beam Saber, and I am also going to be your GM for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This show, as always, is presented by You Don't Meet in an Inn. And as you can see, we have had some technical difficulties. One of our pilots is unfortunately unable to reach us at this time. But
They're stuck in the nebula of Windows Update.
yes, hopefully Takuma will be able to join us in a little bit. But other than him, I am joined by Sasha.
Hi, I'm Sasha Renault. We should probably do plugs.
Yeah,
That's what we're
go
doing.
for it.
Cool. You can find me on Twitter at Sasha_Renault and track my game design at tcabbage.
Thanks. I'm also joined by Ray.
Hi, I'm Ray. I don't have much going on now, but the Twitter is at RayRayTheGayGay. Don't use it super much. But I'm sometimes there. So, you know.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Sean.
Wow. Hi. I am Sean. You can find me at Hyena Spots with a Z on Twitter and most places on the internet. I do some role-playing streams as a guest, and yeah, that's kind of my deal. So excited to play tonight.
Thanks for joining us. All right, so you can find me on Twitter at NotNN if you want to come check out what I'm up to with Beam Saber and what myself and C are up to with whatchamacallit, You Don't Meet in an Inn in general, that podcast we do together. All right, but we are not here to talk about that today. We are here to play some Beam Saber. So let's hop on over to our Roll20 screen. And so we came up with a name and the patron faction goal for our group. So the squad is called the Cenotaph, and the Church of the Celestial Myriad's goal at this time is an intelligence coup.
Do we maybe want to give a definition of Cenotaph for people that don't know?
Sure thing. Who wants to take that?
I was gonna go into the thing where it was linked initially and just read that because it's literally just a straight up definition.
Go for it.
If I can find it. Or just search Cenotaph like someone who knows how tech works.
It's an empty tomb.
Yeah.
It's essentially an empty tomb left in memorial.
Yeah. An empty tomb or marker in honor of someone whose remains are elsewhere or missing. A lot of Tomb of the Unknown Soldier markings are cenotaphs.
Yeah, so it's an excellent fit for this group of pilots who are going out to find the dead.
And it means we don't have to say the word psychopomp every session.
Yeah.
We can still say that, but
We
no.
can. We just would have to.
I would prefer not to have that be like an obligation. I'd like the choice.
Yeah, it's a privilege now.
Okay. So, we join our heroes. Well, we'll see if they're heroes, I suppose. This is Beam Saber after all. We joined them.
We all know what happened in Sean's game.
Hey.
We joined them in Journey City's Broken Bank. The Broken Bank, which I will move us over to on Roll20, is the south side of the river that goes through Journey City.
So here-ish?
Yeah, that whole south side of the city on the other side of the river. And it's called the Broken Bank because early on in the conflict for control of Journey City, it was blasted badly by the conflict. It's full of ruined buildings and rubble and clogged streets. There are paths that have been, shall we say, cleared to a degree. But the bank is unfortunately full of rampant proxies and apps. It is not a safe place to be. Anyone who hangs out there tends to be up to no good. It's not unusual for criminals and terrorists and freedom fighters to all put their hideouts in the Broken Bank. But
Sorry, I wanted to ask, I'm not sort of clear on it. Can proxies and apps physically interact with the world?
they can interact through the AR, and for apps, whatever programs that they had connected to them.
Okay. Sorry, I just wasn't clear.
Yeah. Yeah, so... okay. A little bit more technical difficulties, which I am quickly fixing. Because hopefully Takuma will be joining us shortly. Which... my goodness. Sorry everyone for the technical difficulties.
Gotta love that computer bullshit. I had a more snappy phrase and then I lost it.
Okay, and now Takuma is gone, which has messed up all the fixes I just put in.
No.
Okay. Let's, oh boy.
Please hold.
Yeah, one of those days.
Yeah, my hair is sort of sharing space.
Okay. All right, where was I? Ah, yes. The Broken Bank. So, you are all currently on the outskirts of the Broken Bank. And that is because you received a message from Scratch, the proxy that is your direct superior of sorts, more your handler in some ways.
Contact to the outside world.
Yes. So we're going to do a quick little flashback to when you received the message. So you're all in your cemetery FOB when you get the notification that there is a transmission coming in, that you've received a message. And you all, what do you all have to display the messages that you receive from Scratch? Do you have like a projector? Do you have a 3D projector? Are you all huddled around someone's smartphone? What's the deal? I guess
Kind of.
Spade, you're the team's researcher, so you're the technical expert. How are
Oh, I sure am.
things set up?
I think there is a like a central like 3D hologram projector, or I want to do that, but I also am charmed by the idea of like one of those like meeting things that are just like a little robot with like a little screen on it that wanders around, because we have so many AR just sort of wandering the grounds as it is. So maybe it's like maybe one of them comes up and says, "Oh, you have a message," and then replaces itself with Scratch.
Yeah, I kind of love
Oh,
that.
so like a semi-loyal rampant proxy that just wanders in.
Yeah, like a post officer who's like, "I have a message."
Okay. All right, so
Like Nail Toad in Mario.
you're all gathered around this proxy, which shimmers into static briefly, and then is replaced by like this sort of vast darkness, just like this cube of blackness. And
Proxy on a
at the
proxy
bottom
on a
of this screen, so to speak, at the bottom of this cube of darkness, there's like a media player progression bar that starts ticking away. And then a figure begins moving down from the top of the cube as though walking downstairs. And they appear to be wearing a brown suit, but with matching gloves and fine shoes. As they get closer, you can tell that the suit is not in fact brown, but is in fact a tessellated pattern of the poop emoji. And
Great.
as their head comes into view, they do not in fact have a head. They have the devil emoji, just like 2D, so when they look around, it like gets thinner and turns, as opposed to actually being a full 3D object. So they come down the stairs, and they say, "Hey there, Cenotaph, you ready for your hashtag squad goals?"
Ah, Scratch, I've always loved you.
And "I've always loved you, Spade." And and they look down and they see the media bar, and what the hell is that? And they just pick it up with one hand and toss it over their shoulder into the darkness, and it disappears. And then they look around and they sort of wave the darkness, and it disappears, and they're just like a proxy standing in front of you.
Wearing a poop emoji.
Yeah,
suit.
wearing a poop
Yeah.
emoji suit and with the devil emoji for a head. And they say,
Wait, which expression does the devil emoji
it's
have
just
on
that
its
like
face?
shit-eating grin that it has. That in
Nice.
spite of them talking and looking around with the head, like their eyes or the mouth do not move. It's just like a still image.
Eternal shit.
Oh, looks like we might be getting a transmission from Takuma. Let's see if it comes through this time. But I came prepared and can quickly, presumably quickly adjust this. There we go. All right. So,
Please don't disappear.
yes, so they say, "I've got a mission for you from Bishop Finmal. You see, according to the bishop, there was a fire team of March of Saints awvees with infantry support that went into the broken bank being led by Saint Gertrude. And according to intel, they got the floor wiped with them because they had the big old misfortune of running into Lady Elreth. And so she, the good old goddess of war and death, just, made them all KIA, as far as we know. So the good bishop
And-
wants you all to go in there and see just what in the name of the faith all of them were doing in there. Because the March of Saints, they just sort of do whatever they want. They don't really answer to anyone, as in spite of the faith's best efforts. So you're going to go into the broken bank, and you're going to find out what exactly it is that St. Gertrude and her crew were doing there. Oh, and by the way, the raccoons are already sniffing around there looking for salvage. So you're probably going to have to deal with them. And as for character voices, do whatever you want.
Okay.
Obviously, consistency is preferred, but none of us are professional voice actors. This isn't Critical Role, so
I was about to say.
no one's going to get mad.
Okay, I just wanted to
All
make
right.
sure.
So, that's the message.
God.
Are we, other than intel, are we retrieving remains, and are we returning those to the faith or to the saints? What's the policy on that?
They sort of wave their hand, and they say, I don't really care about that, and the bishop didn't mention it. I mean, maybe you could get something for that on your own. I'm sure the March of Saints might appreciate getting one of their saints back. But it's, the bishop isn't overly concerned with that.
Just wondering if I get to do my job today, that's all.
Well, do it away.
Also, how active is the combat in this area? Is there still active combat at all, or is it mostly just dead at this point?
Well, that sounds like it might be a gather information roll. So how are you going to find this out, Ray?
Let me see what I'm good at. Because I was sort of, as a... I can't scroll properly. As of right now, I was going to try to find the most recent sort of satellite scans of of the planet, but I'm also not good at anything that would let me do that.
Yeah, well, here's a bit of the problem. There aren't really satellites in orbit around Earth because of the conflict and also the debris field. It makes it pretty much impossible. The cellular reception at best is non-existent.
Yeah, okay. Then I don't think I'm able to get anything, because that's... I mean, I might be able to get something down the line, but with what I've got access to right now, I can't.
I mean, there are contacts. If you think you know anyone who would have some information about that, you could see what they've heard and try talking to them.
Yeah, but I want to leave that for a tiny bit. I want to sort of establish the situation a little more before I go to that.
Does anyone else want to try and gather some intel while they are here?
I would like to see what I know about St. Gertrude.
Okay, how are you going to find that out?
I am a bit of a mixer in society, and if I'm guessing the March of Saints is fairly important, being a tier 5 squad. So I'm just wondering if I have encountered any of them or spoken to them at parties or, whatnot.
Okay. Let's see.
So I would like to consort, if possible.
Yeah, okay. Give me a consort roll.
Sure.
This is going to be a fortune roll. I don't think that, there's no need for position or effect.
We don't have like a dice template thing,
No,
do
we don't have any macros.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, so
a 6.
Nice. Well, that's an auspicious start. First roll of the campaign, and you get a 6.
Do it well.
Okay, so what do you know about St. Gertrude? So, St. Gertrude is the saint of curators. She is an older woman, probably in her mid to late 50s. She's a dark-skinned woman with mostly grayed hair. And the awvee that she pilots was more focused on information gathering than it was combat. So there was no way that she was a match for Lady Elreth. That said, as with most of the saints in the March of Saints, she did have her own, it's not wrong to call them a cult of followers, which is probably the awvees and infantry support that surrounded her when she went into the Broken Bank. So it was not, it was probably not unreasonable to say that she probably had like at least 4 other awvees with her, and probably a platoon of infantry, so probably about 30 infantry.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
Anyone else have any thing that they want to try and learn?
Hmm. I want to maybe go for a contact if I can, but like, I also don't know what kind of contacts I would.
Well, what sort of information are you
Hmm.
looking for? What do you want to ask?
I'm mostly just looking for any information on like what the current status of the area is like.
Um, I mean, I believe that y'all have a contact in the Quill.
Okay.
So Sycamore Beach might know something regarding that. If you want to try and contact them, yeah, we'll say that they use they them.
Yeah. Also, sorry, where is the faction document? Is it in the?
It's in the digital character
Yeah, okay,
sheets.
it is.
Yeah.
Yep, it is. Sorry. I'm just gonna do some computer bullshit. But like, if y'all want
Okay,
to.
so Spade, is there anything that you want to do while Ray is figuring out what Tower's up to?
Well, I don't have literally any people skills, so I could just straight up roll for some questions. So just to review, is it as are we going to a specific place in the Broken Bank, or is it the entire coastline?
You have a rough idea of where they might be, because even though the broken bank is trashed, a awvee battle still is noticed.
I see.
Yeah, like big necks killing each other probably, attract some attention.
Here's a question. You mentioned the raccoons just doing regular scavenger stuff. Is there anyone else or anyone in particular among the raccoons that we should be worried about?
So, okay. All right, how are you going to figure that out?
I'm just gonna just straight up ask, our contact, Scratch.
Oh, you're going to ask Scratch? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me think. I'm going to see if we're going to do a fortune roll for them and see if they have that information. 6. Okay.
Hey.
So,
We're starting off competently?
yeah. Who knows? I mean, you haven't done the engagement roll yet, which is sort of the first big important roll.
We're good at RPGs.
Yeah. So, Scratch says, well, from what I've heard of the raccoons who have gone in there, there's no captains or any notable names amongst them. It's seems like it was a fairly standard patrol. I don't think that they realized anyone who was actually involved in there. They just knew there was a battle, and so they went in. But since Lady Elrath obviously walked out of there, no one big up in the raccoons went in.
Fair enough.
So Tower, you figure out what you're up to?
Yeah, I think I want to go back to. I mean, I sort of my opening for this was serving drinks at like a shitty bar, and I think the shitty bar is in the Broken Bank.
That is
area.
a very, very shitty bar then.
It's a very, very shitty bar, but also no one in like, the nobility faction that wants me dead is gonna go there.
Yeah. So, something to note about the Broken Bank is that it has the district quality of rampant proxies and apps, which means that it has, if you are in there, there is a 4-tick clock that is active. And if you stay put, then a tick will be added. So, you can most certainly have, there we are. You can most certainly do that. I just wanted to point that out now. It was a good time to bring it up. So your bar was probably one that traveled about throughout the Broken Bank.
Yeah. Not like, it wasn't like, maybe, no, it wasn't a food cart, but...
Yeah, I was thinking like an alcoholic food truck.
Yeah, it could have been, but then it would make it hard to go back there. Like, I think I probably handed off management to someone else. Because, like, or, you know, I don't know that I was managing it, but you know what I mean. Like, I handed my position there off to someone else. But I think I'm going to try to get back there.
Okay, so I guess before the mission, you're, like, trying to get in contact with someone who runs the bar now? And what are you trying to learn?
I'm trying to learn if anyone knows anything about the status of the place we're going to.
So more specific location information then?
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on there? How large scale is the combat, if there is any, like that kind of stuff.
Okay, so what are you going to roll to try and gather this information?
I was thinking probably consort.
Yeah, that's a good call. Makes sense. What do you have in consort?
Just one.
Okay.
D6.
Roll that 1d6.
Fuck.
And there we are. The first one.
Fuck.
But this is a fortune roll, not an action roll, so nothing bad happens.
It's a fortune roll. I didn't know it was a fortune roll.
Yes. So, you do get a little bit of information. So what's the name of the person that you're calling?
Let me get someone up. Give me like 5 seconds.
Get someone up sounds like you're like waking them up in their like apartment.
Yes. No, I'm getting a random word generator. Because that's how I come up with names. I think their name is Lovegood. Nothing else, just Lovegood.
Okay, Lovegood. All right. So, do you have a name for the bar, or do you want me to give it one?
Yeah, could you?
Sure thing. It's the Broken Bar.
I mean, yeah, it's very on brand.
Yep. So, you get in contact with Lovegood. What are their pronouns?
I was thinking
They, them? Okay.
Yeah. But that's also going to be my default for like half
that's fine. It's the beauty of the future.
It's the future. Everyone's non-binary.
No one has a gender in the future.
All right. So, you call up Lovegood, and they answer, not the phone, because long-range communication is a bit of a problem. Well, you're close enough that you could use a long-range transmitter in your base. So, you call them up, and it rings for a little while, and then their voice comes over. They're not doing a video call with you. And they say, Tower, what are you calling me about now?
Hey, you know what business I'm in, right? You know what I'm doing with my life.
Something to do with bodies, but I mean, aren't we all with the war going on?
Fair enough. We've got to go to... Sorry, I've forgotten the location name.
The Broken Bank.
Is that where we're going?
You know that the battle took place somewhere in there. You're calling them because you were trying to figure out something narrower than a whole district.
Okay. Sorry, I just was a little bit confused. We've got to go into your part of town. We've got to go into the Broken Bank, and apparently there was some big battle around here or something. Don't have that much info. We know Lady Elreth was involved. A bunch of people died. We got to go in there, get them back. Do you know anything about like what the current status is?
Well, thankfully, we did hear that fight, but like I said, thankfully it was on the other side of the broken bank from where we're currently located. So it's somewhere in the east side of the broken bank. I think on the on the other side of the northwest, or the line that goes from northwest to southeast. Somewhere on the other side of that. I don't know more specific than that.
Bearish? I'm pinging in the Discord.
I know what the answer to that is.
I'm aware. I know I'm wrong,
Well,
but I'm.
you're not
just
necessarily
trying to...
wrong. It's just you aren't getting a
rolled
lot of
one.
information out of Lovegood because you only rolled a 1. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
So they say, I'm sorry, I don't know much more than that. I mean, when fights break out, we just stay well away from that. That's how we stay in business, you know, not chasing fights.
I'm well aware. I've got a lot of experience with not chasing fights. But thank you for sort of narrowing it down. Hope the bar is doing well. Hope the cousins are okay. All that.
Yep. Everyone's good. Hey, put what are you? And then call ends.
Okay.
Okay. So are y'all ready to plan the mission then?
Yeah.
I think so. Is still dead?
Yeah, I think that Pitchfork won't be joining us for this mission, unfortunately, it's looking like. But who knows, maybe they'll make a dramatic entrance.
Dramatic entrances are the stuff of
Anime.
I don't know.
Anime is what you're looking for.
Stuff of anime. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Are we playing anime?
We'll find out.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Fair.
your employer for this mission is, in fact, Bishop Finmal.
Okay.
And the target are the raccoons. Your objective is to acquire March of Saints intel.
Well. We just lost again.
And the ROE, the rules of engagement, are, I don't know if y'all want to write this down somewhere.
I'm gonna put it in the notes.
No threatening or employing force against civilians is the first one.
Can I delete homework and put rules of engagement?
Sure.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Where are they? You know, don't bother typing it. I'm going to copy and paste them, because this is a computer and I can do that.
Which?
Have you seen that video of a parrot trying to say no one expects the Spanish Inquisition?
No, but that sounds very cute.
It's very good.
Okay, so no threatening or employing force against civilians is the first one. Next up is no firing upon or presenting as clearly marked medical transport or facility.
Cool.
And lastly, no preemptive use of force against hostile or potentially hostile targets.
I mean, 2 of those should be easy for me.
Okay.
I feel called out.
Yeah.
I wrote this before I heard your most recent mission, if that's any consolation.
Oh, apparently, Takuma could hear what's going on but not do anything.
my nightmare.
Oh.
Which is the biggest mood.
Well, Takuma, you should now be audible. Yes? No?
No, like, the microphone's not working.
Okay. Well, he's unmuted whenever he
So,
can come in. But we're going to just keep moving right along. So, which tactic do y'all want to use? Assault, deception, scientific, social, stealth, or transport?
I mean, I'm always gonna push for stealth or deception.
I kind of feel like stealth is good at the moment, but I'm willing to hear other.
I'm good with stealth.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just get
I
in,
guess
get
you're
out.
going with a stealth mission. So, what is your point of infiltration?
Well, let's see. We're coming in on the other side, the right side of the broken bridge.
So, are we coming in from... Where are we coming in from?
Well, you'll be coming. I mean,
Here?
that's sort of up to you. That
okay.
said, I'm gonna just quickly hop over to the regional map. Y'all are southwest of Journey City, and you can get into the south side of the river without having to cross into Nourish territory just by going through the
I mean,
independent
if
territory.
we're... Yeah. So, could we almost go, like, here, and then up from the
Yeah,
south?
you can come up from the south, absolutely.
Because I think that means both not having to negotiate as much occupied water and potentially not having to deal with all the potential crowding around the shore areas.
Yeah. Swing by for a kip at the bar and then hit up the thing and get home early, you know?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully.
Skip all the traffic across the bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a whole lot of traffic on those bridges, especially the broken one. But coming up
Fair.
from the south, that sounds like a good point of entry. All right. So, let's next up the thing to sort out is loadout. So, for your pilots, are you going with a light, medium, or heavy load? And make sure to mark these on your character sheets so that you can remember which one you have going forward.
Oh, medium.
Yeah, same.
Here we go. Yeah, medium's fine.
All right.
Actually, never mind. I had something and then I forgot it.
Okay, so medium loads all around. And what about your awvees? What load level do they have? Light, medium, or heavy? And remember that when you mark the load for your awvee, it is far more permanent than for your pilot. Because for your awvee, if you want to change your what gear you declare, or if you want to change your load, you'll have to spend materiel points during downtime to do so.
Oh, so this isn't for the mission, this is overall.
For your awvee, yes. For your pilot, it's for the mission specific. It's a lot easier for a pilot to drop stuff, put stuff down, pick stuff up, change outfits than it is
Get a new backpack.
than it is for an awvee to like
Give their mech a new backpack.
unbolt a whole like weapon system and then attach a new one. So that sort of stuff can only be changed during downtime and at the cost of resources.
Okay. I'm gonna go medium. Yeah.
Yes, same.
So you're both going with medium awvees and medium pilot loads.
I'm kind of wondering if I should go heavy. What are
Also-
the downsides to being heavy?
We're doing stealthy stuff.
Yeah. So the load size is basically determinant of what you can carry, obviously, but it also determines when it comes up how quick and agile your awvee is, and also how conspicuous it is. Like, if you take a light load, your awvee might be able to pass off as just like an industrial vehicle, because there are, in fact, civilian walking vehicles, commonly known as cowvees. But if you go heavy, you're not fooling anyone that this is not a tank.
Okay. I guess I will go with medium then.
Okay.
Yeah. Or find an in-between state where, like, you know, it's kind of obvious that it's military, but, like, not so obvious that anyone wants to mention it.
That's a good way of putting it. All right, so medium loadouts for both pilot and awvees. Now, it's time for the engagement roll. So, first up, you get 1 die for plain old luck. Then, is the mission bold? I don't think so.
I don't think
Not
so.
really.
Not really.
Is the mission especially complex? No. So you don't change the number of dice through that. Does the mission exploit the target's vulnerabilities? I don't think so.
Not overtly.
Is the mission's tactic ineffective against the target? Also no. Does the squad receive external support for the mission? No.
Nope.
No.
No?
Intel does
Okay.
not count. This is like people on the ground.
No, I was just thinking if there's okay.
Is anyone interfering with the mission other than the target?
Not yet.
That is also a no. Lady Elreth will not make an appearance this mission unless things go wildly wrong in ways that I have not imagined.
Aw.
3 rolls from now.
Okay, are there any other factors that affect the mission? Take +1 die for each one that benefits the squad and -1 die if it hinders them.
Oh,
This
fuck.
might include differences in squad tier, specialized equipment, or unusual terrain. So, does anyone think that there's anything that benefits you, that is, your squad has that the raccoons do not?
Are we going in our awvees? I'm guessing so.
Sorry?
Are we going in our RVs?
That's what I was planning on doing.
Okay, yeah, then so I don't think
Yeah.
since we're not light, I don't think that benefits us in this particular case.
But it could be that the raccoons don't have as good max.
Well, funny you should bring that up, because
Oof.
you see, the raccoons are tier 1, which is, you know, pretty weak as NPC squads go. But the wonderful thing about player squads is that you start at tier 0. So they are in fact better equipped than y'all. So that is a -1 die to your engagement roll. So that's 0 dice for engagement. Is there anything y'all can think about that might benefit you in this situation?
Don't you love us?
Yes, I do, which is why I actually have a suggestion. Y'all have
Okay.
AR echoes
Oh.
and you're going into the broken bank.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like covering yourself in zombie guts, but with technology.
Yeah, that's one way to
Alrighty.
put it. Okay. So you have a 1 die engagement roll.
Hooray.
Alright.
Yeah, shorting.
God.
Demon, I'm going to have you roll it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you got a good roll the first time.
You said you loved us, and yet you're having me roll this die.
You got
all
a
right.
5 and a 6 the last time you rolled.
Nice.
Well done. That's a 6.
That's what I do.
So that means y'all have a controlled starting position. So now we cut back to the squad observing the raccoons. You've managed to sneak your way in close, and you found yourself in the sort of northern area of the whatchamacallit, of the east side of the broken bank. And you can see that in this area here, in this sort of open wide area, that is where the raccoons are currently working on some salvage. You can see that there's 3 awvees that they're currently working on.
Can you ping where they're at on the Discord?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. So,
And they have 4 awvees of their own that you can see here. One of them is a elephant class hauler awvee. So, where is that? There we go. That's what that looks like.
Ooh.
It's a
Ooh.
quadrupedal with one big crane arm and a flatbed full of shipping containers.
hence the
Yeah.
elephant.
And so that's what they're loading up the salvage
But they're still
onto.
open.
However, they're also joined by some other mechs. Notably, the other 2 are... Why can't I pull this one out? Where is it? Sorry about this.
It's all in the service of cool looking robots, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. It's joined by 2 of these guys.
Ooh.
Hot boy.
Chunky boys.
Yeah, which is sort of the standard awvee of the Empire. They're sort of the grunt work, and they're called the ape. That's the model. So you've got an elephant and 2 apes in this clearing that you can see.
Okay. That we can see.
Yeah. There could be more raccoons elsewhere, but this is the first objective, and you are completely unnoticed at this time. What do y'all do?
I mean, no preemptive attacks.
Yep.
I wanna do a ping with my mech or my awvee to get more information.
Okay. So what do you do? What do you mean by you're pinging them?
I just want to use the instruments on my awvee, the magpie, to get a better. Well, I also kind of want to make sure that these 3 are the only like awvees that we have to worry about in the larger area.
Okay. So you're gonna do a scan for.
Yes,
All right.
I have 2 in, so maybe it will be good.
So what does this look like as you're doing the scan?
So, my mech is sort of caterpillar shaped, and the bottom half of it is covered in all these like these rods that are like humming as a sensor array, and that's sort of how it hovers as well. So I'm gonna the mech is gonna like turn on its side and then wrap around itself in like a circle, and then put out a quiet ping to see if there are any other active organics or electronics in the area.
Okay.
Also, oh fuck.
All right. Takuma, are
We have
you
Takuma
audible?
back.
Can you say something?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yay!
All right.
Welcome, Pitchfork.
Yeah. So apparently, my network bandwidth is low, so I can't see any of your lovely faces. But I did finally manage to connect my mic.
That's good.
Okay. So, are you up to speed on the mission?
You just
Sort of. There was a bit where I didn't. I've been kind of listening the past like 20 minutes, I think, but the bit at the beginning I didn't hear.
Okay, well,
the poop emoji guy.
Yeah, I have no clue what that is.
Okay.
Scratch wears a big suit made of poop emojis and has a devil emoji face, and is just generally a nasty little AI, but we love them. So
that's a fair assessment. All right, so you are luckily joined by Pitchfork. Quickly, Pitchfork. What's your
You just
load
get like airdrop.
for both your pilot and awvee?
Everyone's going medium, right? And this is like a sneaky.
Yeah,
mission?
remember though that when you declare your awvee's load, it's fairly immutable.
Unless you want to spend things.
It's gonna have to be heavy.
So you're gonna go with a heavy awvee, and what about for the pilot?
Honestly, if I'm like in it, heavy.
Okay, Pitchfork's coming loaded to bear.
hell yeah.
All right.
Pitchfork is a bear.
S-
Not, no.
All right. So,
I meant like a literal
Yep.
bear.
So did we.
Spade.
Yes.
All
I'm
right.
rolling.
Give us that scan roll. And this is controlled. Do you have any? So, are you declaring any equipment for this?
No. Well, wait. Hang on. How does that work?
It gives you fictional positioning. If it's fine, then you'll have improved effect. So, not declaring any gear and doing a scan would probably just be like using your mech to look around, as opposed to doing like some radar pinging type stuff. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna grab some gear to do that because I like having really good look around skills. I just don't know what exactly, but I rolled in the chat already.
okay. Well, you got a 6, so that's good.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm getting a lot of sixes.
Well, Researcher has an analytics suite.
Don't
If you
say-
want
oh,
to declare that for one load.
Yeah, it just seemed more specific than I was doing, but that's fine. If that works, then I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
Declared.
All right. So, a 6. You scan about, and what you learn is that there are indeed other awvees in the area, unsurprisingly. So, there are, in fact, can I just copy? Yeah, okay. Not mean to drag. There are 2 additional apes out there. And then there, where is it? Actually, maybe I will do this. Stack them all together. So yeah, there is, in addition to the 2 apes that are out there, there's also a wolf class awvee, which is you could consider it like an officer's awvee. It's better equipped than the apes.
and more fancy.
Yeah. They you got a 6, and you, let's see, you declared the analytics suite, so that would be standard effect. So you can tell though, so the elephant and the apes are in this big clearing here. It is called a wolf. Yeah, the wolf and the 2 apes are in the next clearing over. So
Okay.
they are, if things get hot, they're close by, but they won't arrive immediately.
In terms terms of scale, what are we looking at? Like, how big is this?
Okay. It's pretty darn big. It's yeah, it's
Okay.
like it, probably it would not be unreasonable to like size wise if like a light if a heavy awvee were person sized, that clearing would be like the size of a boxing ring, to give you an idea of scale.
Okay.
Okay. It's like a good couple of city blocks.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also, just as a note, the apes are lights, the wolf is a medium, and the elephant is a heavy awvee.
Okay.
Do I pick up anything? Any additional details on what the elephant is salvaging?
Well, you can see that there is, like I said, 3 awvees that are in this clearing that are wrecked, which is what it's picking up. The 2 apes in the area are basically taking the salvage apart, loading it into cargo containers, and then the elephant is putting those cargo containers on its flatbed.
Okay, so it's just disassembling the broken obbies that are
Yes.
already there. Cool.
Does this look like where the big battle took place, or is there sort of damage all in this area?
I mean, you're in the Broken Bank. It's pretty hard to tell where any
Yeah, but-
one battle took place, because during the initial conflict in Journey City, this area was basically carpet bombarded. So,
Yeah, but is there like spots that are still smoking
Yeah, exactly.
or on fire?
yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, I can.
I would say that the awvees that are being salvaged are smoking. There's no signs of any buildings that are smoking or on fire.
Is there anything else in the area that I can see?
Yeah, you can see that over to the east. You can see some smoke rising.
Okay.
Are these myriad obvies?
The ones that are on the ground.
Yeah, the ones that are being loaded in.
Yes, they are. The 3 that are here. I actually don't have a good token for the awvees, for the celestial myriad. I'll fix that for next time. But yeah, there are 3 medium awvees. It's pretty hard to tell what model they are at this point, unfortunately, between the sound drubbing that Lady Elreth gave them and then the salvage op that the raccoons are pulling on their remains.
Okay.
So, what do y'all want to do now?
Are there signs of Lady Elrith anywhere around here, or is she like
Not
straight up
according
gone?
to your scanners and not according to the intel you have. That said, what Starfall can do is not well known.
Awesome.
Fair. I want to try to actually get from sort of where we are over here on the south side up and around.
So you want to flank them. Okay.
Yeah. Try to get some better perspective. If there's a tall enough building, want to sort of stick to there and get kind of a different vantage
All right, yeah,
point.
so you're going to use the urban terrain, sneak around the buildings to get more on the dock side of this clearing.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to roll?
And it also means we're not staying in one place, which sort of averts any problems with the apps.
Yes.
It's true.
Pitchfork, I don't know if you caught that, but in the Broken Bank, it has a district rule that if you stay put for any length of time, a clock, 4-section clock, will start to fill up, and that clock represents the presence of rampant proxies and apps. This is a haunted area, so to speak.
Also, I'm probably going to roll maneuver, which I've got 2 in.
Okay, so that is going to be controlled. Let's let's see. Are you going? Are you? Yeah, it's going to be controlled standard unless you have, or sorry, not controlled standard, controlled limited, because the raccoons are
Okay.
higher tier. In spite of them bringing apes, they are more experienced pilots than y'all. So, and they might have additional
I-
gear on them that would aid them.
Yeah. I just want to look at some stuff I might be able to get.
Yeah. Well,
Because I actually kind of. I could take electronic countermeasures, which might block communication and might stop them from sort of noticing me as quickly, but that feels risky.
so that would indeed block the wireless transfer of information, including radio.
But it would also block it for
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna take fine optical camo. Just give me some more sort of advantage within the actual terrain that we're.
Yeah, that'll
within.
bump your effect up to standard, since you have fine optical
Okay.
camo.
Okay. That's
All
a
right.
4, so
Mixed
mixed.
success.
But it's controlled, so it's
Yeah,
not disastrous.
correct. All right, so I'm just gonna quickly jump to effect. Is that what I want? Consequences. That's what I want, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for everyone who knows, or doesn't know, I am still learning this document as well as everyone else. I may have written it, but it's a lot of pages to try and memorize.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, I think that with the controlled 4-5, the pilot hesitates, they can withdraw and try a different approach or else do it with a minor consequence. So, what the minor consequence is that the raccoons are going to realize that someone is here. They aren't going to know where you are, and they aren't going to know where the rest of the squad is. But you're going to like bump or like just walking past an old car, and suddenly its car alarm, it goes off. And so now they know that something is up, that someone else is nearby, because proxies and apps don't set off car alarms unless they want to. Of course, you can instead choose not to go for this and try a different approach and roll something other than maneuver or do something else. Or you can resist this complication.
See, the way I was thinking about the approach was more vertical. Than that. So, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so you weren't you described yourself as using the buildings for cover, which
It's fine.
Okay.
Never mind. Sorry. I'm still.
Yeah.
You know, I'm brain.
So are you going to?
Yeah,
You'll
I'll accept that.
Okay, so your situation is now switched to risky, and tower is on the opposite side of the elephant and the apes. What are the rest of y'all doing? Pitchfork, Demon, what are you two up to while tower moves and Spade scans?
I'm just putting glitter on my face.
That's a good question. I feel we need to cause a distraction.
Oh.
Any ideas of what we can do for a distraction there, Pitchfork?
Not all good.
I mean, you could send some of the apps in.
Yeah, what's the AR field around here looking like? Because we've got AR
Okay,
echoes,
so what does it look like when you use AR echoes, Demon?
Oh gosh, what does it look like? So I think there is. I think like I have a little like rosary essentially, and there's like a button I push on it, and then so AR is kind of like built. How I'm trying to think, because I imagine like I push a button and there's like a little visor that comes across my eyes. Like I have like a little headset.
Okay.
Although that's probably more for like inside inside my awvee, I think there's just like a similar kind of switch I throw, and my sensors like start processing the stuff instead.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so what the area around you reveals is many buildings that are still intact. The memory of this place holds that it is not ruined. It is a lovely city space full of apartment buildings and department stores, malls, office towers. None of it super tall. It's a fairly medium rise area, you know, like 10 floors is sort of like the highest that these buildings go. And
Okay, so like, never mind. I was going to use a Toronto reference.
and you can also see that there's lots of apps and proxies in the area that are slowly moving, not slowly in the sense of like zombie shambling, but slowly in that they sort of meander their way over. They don't move in a straight line. They sort of like move in one direction and then something catches their attention and they move in another direction. But they're always moving closer towards the clearing that you all are near. They're
Sort of
the
observing.
raccoons have been here for a while and they are drawing in the proxies and the apps.
Yeah. Do they have a clock going, or
If they do, you don't get to see it.
Fair.
So, Demon, do you have
I-
any other questions about the AR situation?
No, what is I guess that depends on my equipment and stuff. I was like, what is my ability to interact with the AR field? But I don't feel I really have anything that would let me do that.
Flashbacks are a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have AR echoes for a reason.
True. Would I be able to acquire? Well, that would probably count as a hostile action if I stick the AR on them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, but you could like put a signal there to draw more of them in, maybe, like not have them be hostile, but just sort of to get them to gather even faster.
This mission
Yeah.
is just recon, right?
What was that?
This mission is just recon, right? Go
Yeah,
over
we're-
some stuff.
We're supposed to like get the intel, so
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
And the bodies if you're so inclined.
Because, families and all that.
Yeah, I'd like to basically try and convince our superiors to, or I don't know. This is tough. The first stuff's kind of tough.
Ask Scratch for a shiny thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just like some sort of transmitter or something that I can plant somewhere.
Well, I believe that as a standard pilot gear, there's a long-range transmitter.
Oh, okay. So I can just take that.
Yep.
Okay. So I've taken that as part of my pilot gear. And I essentially want to get close enough to plant it in one of the like nearby structures.
Okay. Are you getting out of your awvee to do this?
Ooh. Ooh.
Not the worst idea.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
Okay. So, I forgot to do this when Spade and Tower acted. So we'll start with you. What does your awvee look like, Demon?
So mine is like a bipedal chicken walker, essentially, with like a sealed cockpit. There's like a one-sided or one-way like hard glass, so you can't like see me inside of it necessarily. It has hard points for arms that something is attached to that I haven't taken gear for yet. So
What is hard points?
Yeah, I was confused about that too.
so those are like areas that you can attach equipment to.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the yeah, so it's like a fairly hefty thing. It's a like a repurposed custom. I call it a Trans Horizons Forest Rider. It's basically something that during my scum and villainy days, like we stole from the corporatocracy, which is what's the faction name for that?
The faction is the Exodus Republic Incorporated.
Yeah, the Exodus Republic Incorporated. So like, that's kind of how I got that, and then like I kind of hacked it together over time, or like my gang did. So it's in comparison to like a normal myriad awvee, it's kind of this bit of a clunker.
Okay.
And so yeah, it kind of like crouches down. I pop out of the cockpit, and then I'm just gonna like pick my way through to like a nearby location where I can plant this transmitter.
Okay. All right. What do you want to roll for that?
I think prowl seems like the most appropriate action for this.
That is fair. So this is going to be risky. I think you will actually have standard effect because
Oh.
the apes are on the raccoons are on the lookout for like something bigger, I think. They're looking
Sure.
for other awvees or tanks or something. They're not looking for like one person. Also, I think that their attention is sort of drawn to the west from the car alarm that went off, where you're to the south. So risky standard.
Risky standard. Awesome. I am going to push myself, unless you have a devil's bargain.
The devil's bargain. The transmitter. I mean, I'll put one tick on your squad's proxy clock.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather do that and take 2 stress.
Okay.
Is there a way that I could take 1 stress to assist?
Yes, because you currently only have 1 tick in your relationship clock with Demon, so it does only cost you 1 stress, and you can give 1 benefit. What does it look like as you assist?
Okay. I think I just I make some more noise in this direction, like not a lot, but
A misdirect for the misdirect.
a misdirect for the misdirect for the
Okay,
misdirect.
so what are you banging on, or what are you doing?
I think what it is I try to get some apps to sort of almost follow me around and stream them into the sort of courtyard where they're
Okay,
standing.
so you're trying to get a conga line of apps going. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so mark your 1 stress.
Okay.
And
marked.
I've marked the clock. So, what advantage are you giving to Demon? Improved position, improved effect, or extra die?
How many die have you got right now?
I've got 1 right now.
An extra die then.
Thank you. All right, so everything's on the table, I think, unless you get anything.
I already
Austin.
gave you your devil's bargain.
Sure. All right, here we go.
Nice. That's a
Hey!
6.
666.
All right. So yeah, demon with those 6s. Okay, so you
We're like competent.
Lucky devil.
Yeah.
so the two apes are like looking to the west, and then one of them like points to the north, and like the two of them turn that way, and as you run across the street into one of the abandoned rubble-strewn buildings that's closer to the courtyard, you spot like a line of translucent people and figures. Not all of them are people. Some of them appear to be like corporate mascots, like moving past the entranceway, moving past an alley leading into the courtyard closer to the docks. And because you know what to look for, you also see the brief telltale shimmer of Tower's awvee as it runs ahead of them. So you stick that transmitter down in the ground, and it's a fair size thing. It's probably about the size of a microwave,
Okay. Yeah.
and
It's secretly just a microwave.
it's got straps for carrying. It can be carried like a backpack or a duffel bag. And so you
Yeah.
plop it down and you turn it on, and it
It's like this ghastly blue.
it starts vibrating lightly, and the apps that were moving across the alley, they start to move down that alley in towards the courtyard. Pitchfork, what are you up to?
Sorry, could you just ping where we are and where they are again?
So the apes and the elephant are in this courtyard here. Y'all are just to the south of it, like on the other side of the street.
Except- Y'all are. No, I can't ping. Y'all, yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
up here.
Okay. I'm not good in this situation at all. I'm terrible in this situation, actually.
Also, have you read the rules of engagement?
No, I don't know what they are.
Okay. No threatening or employing force against civilians, no firing upon or presenting as clearly marked medical transport or facility, no preemptive use of force against hostile or potentially hostile targets.
Quick.
Second one is a really complicated. What?
Huh?
The second thing?
Oh,
No shooting or pretending to be an ambulance.
Or a hospital. Don't pretend to be a hospital either.
can we pretend to be a morgue?
I mean, you're not pretending.
I mean, we don't have to
We're not
pretend.
pretending.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah.
Exactly. But like,
But is that still on the board? Can we just be like, hey,
presenting as, can we, does that mean, like, even if we're not pretending, can we still look like we're a morgue, or is that off the table?
Go for it. So, Pitchfork. What's
all
your plan,
emo.
Pitchfork?
So Tower is currently
To the north of that courtyard.
up there. Doing what exactly?
Being distracting.
Distracting.
And also, sort of funneling apps and other sort of like technological undead into the courtyard.
Man, I mean, I think I'll just set up like by I'm drawing a blank on your names for whatever reason. Harrow and
Yeah, Harris fine.
yeah, Demoning Spade.
So you're just gonna stay put with them?
Yeah, I'm really no good in like a lot of situations besides like bodyguard at the moment.
Okay, well, you're there in case things get hot.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's think about this.
So the wolf and the apes with them, they're just
The
chilling at the
wolf and
moment.
the apes in the next courtyard to the east. You can tell by your scanning that they are moving. They've begun to move closer.
Cool.
Yeah. It seems like the raccoons in this courtyard here have radioed for backup now that they can see that things are getting weird.
Okay. I'm a little confused as to what our objective is here. Is there something that like one of the disassembled awvees that has like clearly important information or technology on it,
Well,
or should I do another like an analyze or something to figure that out?
That's a good thing to find out.
let me think. Yeah. How could you tell this? Presumably the information that, because you're here to find out why St. Gertrude was in the area. So presumably that information might be in her awvee.
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah. So if we're trying to find out why she was in the area, is there a way to sort of investigate the area in general, see if there's anything that seems off about it?
Yeah, I want to Sherlock Holmes this and see if there's like
yeah.
broken sticks or whatever. Just something about the battlefield that might indicate where they were fighting and what they were fighting over.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm willing to roll an analyze
Yeah.
for that.
I also am, but if you're better at it than I am, you go for it.
I have one in analyze.
So do I.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You've been having better luck with
So
rolls.
what do you? So you're sort of combing through the area for finer details now that you've sort of got like a big picture layout of where the raccoons' awvees are. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that would be a roll, and you want to roll analyze for it.
Yeah. I had quick question. Is using Analytics Suite to sort of get the lay of the land, does that mean I can't use that again,
No,
or
no.
is that
It
Is
doesn't
that
have a
switched, or-
limited number of uses.
okay? Cool. Then I'm gonna use that as well. So that's that improves effect, right?
So you'll with that you'll be
Okay.
at risky standard.
Cool.
Could
So-
I assist?
Yeah. How do you want to assist?
Well, I've got a point in survey, so I think I just want to like hop out of the mech and like check what she's scanning with like my eyes, as opposed to mech tools, and provide like another perspective on that.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
All right. So I believe you should have one belief related to spade pitchfork. So spend your one. Whatchamacallit, stress. And do you want to give spade dice, effect, or position?
You just have one in it right now, right? Probably dice, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, Spade's pronouns are Kokor. You can just use core name Spade when you refer to Ko. So, well, so that's 2d6.
That sounds right.
Did that work? I don't know if it
No.
worked. No, it didn't because I used the wrong one. Sorry. I used exclamation point instead of the other thing. Hey,
Hey.
Y'all have
Yay!
some great luck.
I like looking at stuff.
Okay.
We're gonna be so fucked next session.
So,
Uh-huh.
pitchfork. While you are looking over the
Sherlock Holmesing this shit.
awvees, you see that one of them has the what would the symbol be? It has the blue 8-pointed star of the celestial myriad inside of a golden halo, indicating that that awvee was piloted by a saint. So you can tell that one of the trashed awvees in the courtyard probably belonged to Saint Gertrude. And Spade, while you are scanning the area too, Pitchfork directs your attention to that particular awvee, and you can tell by scanning that awvee that it has an unusually large data cache for its model.
All right, so that's the thing we should probably grab.
Yeah. Also, can we take a break? Because it's 7:30-ish.
Sure thing. So we will...
Sorry,
we can take a short break. So everyone will be back in 5 minutes. See you all then.